Within all the beauty of Alaska lies Mount Spurr. Mount Spurr is a quaternary stratovolcano located near the northeast end of the Aleutian Volcanic Arc near Anchorage, Alaska. Mount Spurr lies on top of the subduction zone between the North American and Pacific Plate. Tectonic movements between these two plates have caused activity in this volcano over the course of history, specifically 2 large eruptions.
Spurr, it's not the most active volcano in Cook Inlet. Augustine is, but it is the closest volcano to Anchorage. It's only 80 miles west of here, due west. And it's also a tall volcano. It's just over 11,000 feet tall, and it's a lot of snow and ice is on this volcano. My name is Gay McChimsey, and I'm a volcanologist with the Alaska Volcano Observatory, U.S. Geological Survey in Anchorage, Alaska. The only historic eruptions that we know of occurred, the first one was in 1953, and it was a single eruption, lasted about an hour, and put ash up to about 50,000 feet.
Mount Spurr, a giant volcano in southern Alaska, suddenly erupts, sending a great column of smoke and volcanic ash sprawling nearly 8 miles into the sky. More than 80 miles away, the city of Anchorage is darkened by the pall of ash, which blots out the sun. Even in mid-afternoon, the city of 50,000 people is in semi-darkness as the fine volcanic powder settles in a layer an inch thick on buildings and pavements. Lorries help in the great cleanup. Officials estimate that well over 10,000 tons fell on the city. Hundreds of pounds worth of damage is done as Mount Spurr erupts for the first time in living memory.
From July 9th to July 16th, 1953, ash that spewed from Mount Spurr covered Anchorage, Alaska, shut down the local Air Force base for a week, and disrupted traffic for 3 to 4 days. Fortunately, there were no fatalities during this eruption. However, several military aircrafts were severely damaged while circling the volcano during the eruption. After years of dormancy, Mount Spurr became active again, and in a big way, in 1992. It was then when Mount Spurr erupted 3 times in only 4 months, 2 large-scale eruptions and 1 smaller-scale eruption.
So in 1992, when Spurr became restless, there was about a 10-month lead up to that eruption. Seismologists began to see the seismic events increase. Swarms began. We began measuring gas over there and saw that there was more gas coming out, both CO2 and SO2. The lake turned from a beautiful turquoise color to a battleship gray color, which is indicative of absorption of SO2 into the lake waters. And then on the afternoon of June 27th, 1992, Spurr erupted. And it erupted just almost a carbon copy of what it had done in July of 1953, except the eruption was about 3 hours long. That an eruption of Spurr was confirmed, that it was now showing up seismically as a major eruption. So we were airborne seconds later, and within less than a minute we popped through the weather clouds and immediately could see this vertical eruption column, which you'll see on this video that I gave you.
This eruption has been assigned a volcano explosivity index of 3, which compares to an index of 4 for the 1953 eruption of Crater Peak and a 5 for the May 18, 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens.
Despite the rather large eruptions in 1992, there were no fatalities directly related to the volcanic eruptions. However, there were several deaths related to heart attacks and shock experienced by people living near the eruption site. However, these eruptions did rack up well over $2 million worth of damages, as well as multiple school closings, business closings, and heavy delays in air travel and traffic control as well. The Alaskan Volcano Observatory has currently rated Mount Spurr as a level of concern color code green, which means as of now, it is very unlikely that a volcano eruption will occur at Mount Spurr anytime soon. However, they are definitely still possible, and there are definitely ways to predict them and limit damage to people and their surroundings. The best way to avoid and limit damage surrounding Mount Spurr if another volcano eruption should occur is to study and learn the seismic activity surrounding the area at all times. If seismic activity increases, the possibility of a volcanic eruption there increases as well. If this were to happen, it would be smart for people to take cover, take shelter, and make any proper necessary engagements they need to avoid damage to themselves, their loved ones, or their property.